Hey, what's up, Visionaries? Welcome back to the ArcVision Fan Jam. My name's Anton. Hopefully all of you guys are having a fantastic day because it is Turnback Tuesday, Throwback Thursday, or Sentimental Sunday. And today's song request comes from Kev. Of course, we all love Kev. And this is Annie Lennox, Walking on Broken Glass. And you guys know how much I love Annie Lennox. She's incredible. And before we get into this one, I do want to say you guys rock. Thank you for all love and all the support. If you guys are resonating with the channel, smash the like button, subscribe. Also, if you guys want to support the channel at the same time, request songs like Kevin did, and albums for us to react to, definitely join everyone in the Patreon family. As always, shout out to you, my patrons. Thank you guys so much for all the love and all the support, and keep all of the requests coming. Lastly, if you want to check out my podcast and get your hands on official merchandise, links to those down below. And if you want to hang out with myself and everybody, DM me on Discord. Find everyone on Discord, and that's it. So without further ado, let's get to Annie Lennox, Walking on Broken Glass. Ah, period piece. Already a good melody. Sorry for pausing at the very beginning, but once again, incredible ear for melody. Because I remember, if you guys remember, do you remember the Y reaction? Pretty much around the same thing, first like 10 seconds. I paused it and I was just hit by Annie Lennox's. In that song, it was her soft, silky emotion and the way that she could. Actually, it was the melody too. I was picking up just like an incredible melody in that song. And then this one is immediately catchier, poppier, but once again, I'm wrapped up in it. I'm like, this is going to be good. I can already tell. Just, yeah, it's gonna be good, guys. So anyway, let's get back into it. Just already is crazy. She hits me so immediately because not all artists do that, but Annie has a way of just opening a song. Because even last time with Y, that was the chorus. She opened with the chorus, and I think she's opening with the chorus here too, obviously. So, man, she was like one of the first like hit makers. You know what I mean? I can already tell. Just wow. Stop interrupting, guys. Let's get back into this, okay? Great orchestration too.
Sweetest thing that I ever knew, but I don't care for sugar, honey, if I can't have you. Since you abandoned me, my whole life is a crash. Won't you pick the pieces up, 'cause it feels just like
soul.
Let the wind blow through me. I'm living in an empty room with all the windows smashed. And I've got so little left to lose that it feels just like I'm walking on broken glass. Trying to cut me down, you know that I might bleed. 'Cause if you try to cut me down, I know that you'll succeed. And if you want to hurt me, there's nothing left to fear. 'Cause if you want to hurt me, you're doing
Wow. Amazing orchestration.
now every one of us is made to suffer.
Wow. Dare I say that's the perfect pop song. Wow. That was extraordinary. On every level, the music video was just, I was caught up in it the whole time. Like, and oh man, there's so many things I want to say. So I want to focus on music first of all. Just Annie is one thing that was going through my head this entire time was just, my God, I don't know. Maybe Bonnie Tyler is one of the few people that can capture such theatricality and drama in her voice and her performance while still making the song catchy and like always serving the song. Like there's some artists, Paul Calabrese, you know who I'm talking about right now. But yeah, there's some songs where sometimes I feel like the theatrics can get in the way of the song, and that's purely subjective. That's my opinion. I know it's actually not objective because I know there's a lot of you that would disagree with me if I was to actually name the songs. Like actually one of them was Jennifer Holliday, the one Paul that you requested. I wasn't like a huge fan of that song because I felt, for me at least, the melody wasn't to my liking as much, and I felt like it was extremely theatrical, dramatic. I respected the hell out of that performance, but it wasn't like catchy enough for me in a sense, where this was supremely catchy while also theatrical and also dramatic. There was a richness, there was a drama to her voice, but it was always, for me, within this context of a melodic, catchy, ear candy kind of song. And I know that's not going to be for everyone, but for me, you guys know that's my shit. I love that. I'm really seeing with this channel, I love pop music. There's a certain style of melody structure in choruses in the 80s that I'm a massive fan of. I don't know what it is. I can't articulate it directly. Maybe it's a lot of ad libs, a lot of soul, a lot of R&B influence mixed with this, like, it's like in the 80s, they figured out how to write a song that is perfect for my ears. I find Annie Lennox is just someone who embodies that style so vividly to me that it's just, like, this was so catchy. Like, I already, like, the first time that chorus hit, I knew where it was going in a good way. And when it went to where I knew it was going, I still loved every second. I was caught up in it. I was caught up in the emotion, the lyrics, everything. And this song had me enraptured. I was just in it. Her soul, man, the rich tone of her voice. I don't want to say it's second to none, because the moment I say that, I'm gonna have Whitney Houston flying through my head. I'm gonna have Ann Wilson, Nancy Wilson, Stevie Nicks. You know what I mean? Like Bonnie Tyler. Like, and you can't compare these singers. They're all islands in an ocean of beauty. You know what I mean? They all have their individual styles, and we always get caught up in comparisons. But it's unfair when you get to these kind of artists, because they all have carved out their own niche, their own style. And I immensely respect every single one of them. And they all, and Roxette is another one, right? I just adore Mary. But Annie Lennox she's something else, man. She's so of the heart too. And now I want to get into the lyrics. And kind of mixture of the video. A few things I want to say about the video. Impeccably done. Like the set, the beautiful home, she's a phenomenal actress too, embodying that emotion. And then her love interest, he was in Johnny English, John Malkovich. That was John Malkovich, right? Maybe. Looked like him. But he even looks kind of, yeah, this might have been when he was younger. But yeah, just the drama was incredible. And then now we're gonna get into the lyrics, where I'll talk about the drama and you guys can fill in the blanks. But yeah, I just, the way I see this relationship, and it's funny that as human beings, whatever we're dealing with in our lives, We always view life through those contexts. So right now, I've been doing a lot of research into attachment styles, psychology, trauma bonding, and you guys have known for probably the last 3 months a lot of these reactions. And it's also because of what we're looking at. A lot of songs are about abusive relationships, emotionally abusive relationships. There's not many songs about real love. A lot of songs are about abusive, toxic relationships. And this is another one of them. This is a trauma bonding relationship where she's basing her entire integrity and authenticity and value on the love of another man, of a partner, she's a scorned lover, right? And she was so used to her value, her value of herself being radiated from this man, this lover, and when he leaves, it looks like he cheated. She's so angry at him. Usually, that doesn't happen if you break up and then you start seeing someone else. You don't have that same intensity to like screw that person for taking my love away from me. But in essence, it was never your love to begin with, because yeah, it's just one thing I've realized is I was listening to a podcast just today about this, that lovers are the mirrors of ourselves, that we think that love comes from a partner and then it's projected onto us, but really we have a store of love inside of us at all times, waiting to be accessed, because we don't know how to access it by ourselves. We don't know how to love ourselves. So what happens is when we get into love, both of us have these like heart centers that open up, and then the love that we feel that we think is coming from them is actually the love we have inside of ourselves, but it's like connecting with another person, and it's like they're drawing it out of us. We're not like, and I guess in a sense we're drawing it out of each other, right? So in my lover, I'm pulling out the love from her, right? And she's experiencing what she thinks is coming from me, but no, I'm just like a magnet pulling that out so she can experience, because I don't think you give love, because like love is such a psychological phenomenon of the human brain, of our own hormones, because it's not like we give you love and then you experience all these hormones that we've given you. No, your body creates those hormones. Your body creates what does MDMA give you? Ecstasy. What's the actual neurotransmitter it gives you? I'm blanking on it. But it's the bonding hormone that you get after you have sex with somebody, and it makes you think that you love them more than you really do. But what happens is like, yeah, my essentially my thought in all of this is that they bring out the love you have in yourself, and that love creates all these bonding chemicals, and you know all the friggin' colors are more vivid and everything is more beautiful. Someone cuts you off in traffic and you're just like, haha, like all good. You know what I mean? Like when you're in love, it's not love, it's when you're having all of those chemicals flowing through your body. Literally life is heaven. That is heaven on earth, right? Is when you're in love. And that usually lasts for 6 months to a year. That's usually it. And then in some ways, I've heard it said that most of the time the chemicals in your body that bring you together with a partner last for about, I think it's 1 year to max 1.5 years. And the average marriage is 2.5 years. So if you see that it takes 1.5 years to actually see somebody as they are, without all the chemicals, without all the things blinding you, it takes 1.5 years to get through that. So most people actually only know each other for a year before they get divorced, because they realize that they're actually not compatible with the person. And I even have a thought on that. I don't think it's actually that we lack I think the person that we find is incredibly compatible with who we are. It's just they're mirror images of us, right? So the toxicity that we experience in relationships is actually our own toxicity merged with their own toxicity, because call it law of attraction woo-woo bullshit, but I believe in that stuff. And I think that you attract a partner who is literally on your frequency wavelength. Nothing is an accident. You will continue. Why do you think you continually attract partners that are just like the same one? You have 6 relationships and you wonder, why do I keep attracting the same person to my life? because you haven't actually changed. You're the same person. So of course you're going to be attracting the same counterpart, right? You may think you've changed on a conscious level, but your subconscious traumas are still there running the show, because obviously you're only conscious 1% of the time. Every time you're driving, you're not conscious. It's your subconscious that's driving the car. That's why you can have a conversation with the person beside you and not get in a car crash. And it is not incredible. You're not paying attention to the road at all. You're paying attention to the person beside you, but you don't get in a single car crash. You fluctuate your speed forward and backwards automatically, right? Same thing with your heartbeat, breathing, right? There is like 90 million processes going on in your body as we speak right now, and you think that you're just your conscious mind. No, most of the actual processes that you think about, most of the thoughts are automatic. Even thinking is an automatic process. You can say that you're a transceiver for thoughts, you're a receiver of information, or let's say, let's just say for the sake of the argument, you're the one creating your thoughts. You're not doing that consciously. Because if you were thinking that consciously, why would you put yourself through the hell that you put yourself through every day with all the crazy thoughts that come in automatically like that, right? So no, thoughts are random. They come from, if anything, your subconscious, right? Either you are a receiver for thoughts that come from the ether or whatever, or your subconscious is thinking you, right? So it's like, if you want to actually get like an actual good partner in your life, you got to sort out your subconscious. Your subconscious is this thing telling you that you're a piece of shit, you'll never find love, that everybody's going to cheat on you, and then everyone ends up cheating on you because that's your story, and you play into that. You push people away, and you have one foot out the door. I was talking with my friend about this literally just a month ago, and I was asking him how his relationships were going. He's like, oh, I'm just kind of having fun right now. I'm like, oh yeah, really, you're having fun, right? And then I was like, oh, so how many people are you sleeping with? He's like, oh, sleeping around, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, who broke your heart? And he's like, oh, no, nothing. Like, nothing happened. I was like, okay, when was your last relationship? 6 months ago. Okay, how'd that end? Well, it ended up pretty brutally. Like, we were really pissed off at each other. And I'm like, okay, so you were really hurt. Because, a lot of time we think, oh, no, I was just angry. It's like, anger comes from hurt. You know what I mean? You get angry because you weaponize your hurt, because it's easier to deal with anger than actual sadness and actual someone betraying you and breaking your heart, shattering your heart into 50 million different small pieces, right? So after talking to this guy for 5 minutes, we realized that he was actually really hurt right now, and that the reason why he's sleeping around, and I even asked him, I was like, okay, who do you like the most of all these girls? He's like, well, I've been sleeping around with all these girls, but there's one girl that I really love, and I was like, okay, like, do you see, like, what do you want to do with this girl? Do you want to go further? He's like, no, we're just kind of having fun. I was like, okay, so you're afraid. And he's like, no, I'm not afraid. And then we got more into it, and then we realized he was terrified of falling in love again and then being broken again. So he had one foot out the door because he actually cared about this girl too much, that he was so terrified of how much he cared about this girl. He had one foot out the door sleeping with other girls. So that the moment that she would break up with him or break his heart, he could just pivot to all these other girls, right? So it's like a lot of, women think guys are monsters. A lot of guys think women are monsters or whatever. It's like a lot of our shitty behavior is actually because we're hurt. It's not because we actually almost care too much. And it's like, it terrifies us, the idea of caring enough to get your heart broken again. That's why if you really want to know why do you have your, another foot out the window or something, or out the door, that's why. It's actually because you care too much, not too little. And it's just your defense mechanism. You're protecting your heart. And I know a lot about that because, rather than sleeping around, I just didn't sleep around with anybody for 5 years or something. I was so broken after my last relationship that the idea of giving my heart away again is just terrifying. I'm actually at the point now where I can see myself doing that finally, 5 years later. But it took a long time. You know what I mean? And I could easily see myself, another version of myself, just sleeping around and doing all that stupid shit. You know what I mean? Easy. Because it's the same kind of thing. When you're sleeping around, really what you're doing is you are distancing yourself from romance and real intimacy. Because even this girl, he was telling me, I was like, oh, how close do you feel with her? He's like, oh, I feel really close. And I'm like, no, you don't. There's no way you actually feel very close. And the thing is, she's going to leave you because you're not giving her your whole heart. right? And then he actually dawned on him. He's like, yeah, I'm kind of, again, hiding, right? I'm not giving her my full heart because I'm terrified of her breaking it. So I'm giving her a hollow husk of my body. Essentially, we're just having just sex, just two bodies. We're not having anything emotional going on. We're not having anything spiritual or higher going on. It's literally just masturbating with someone else's body. That's pretty much what it is, right? And it's just like, it's funny, after we finished that conversation, he kind of had a glee in his eye. He's like, all right, I think I'm going to just focus on her. And who knows? It takes more than one conversation to break down those walls, right? I don't guarantee, but I strongly believe that he has probably already, he remembers that conversation, but it terrifies him when I'm not around. Because obviously I can be the calming presence that can ground him in the moment, but the moment I'm gone, his mind starts going insane and playing tricks on him, telling him that he's going to be hurt again and all this stuff. So the moral of the story to all of you listening, and to myself included, anytime I talk to you guys, I'm talking to myself, chiefly. I'm talking to myself, and then you guys happen to be listening. But yeah, like, it's like all of us, if we want to actually have a relationship that is good, it's like we got to yeah, gotta love ourselves first. And that's easier said than done. And that comes with just accepting all of your shame, all of your flaws and everything. Like, even start journaling. Write down, like, you know, one thing I say to myself every night in my journal is, how are you doing, brother? I just ask myself that, because that's what I ask other people. My friends, the people I love in my life, I say, how are you doing, brother? You know, with my friends and stuff. And it's a very, you know, loving way of saying that. But the funniest thing is, we don't actually talk to ourselves the way we talk to our friends. We actually don't talk to ourselves unless we're yelling at ourselves. We never just say, hey, how are you doing? You know what I mean? And accept no matter what the answer is. Shitty? Cool. That's all good. We'll get through it together. Or you're doing great? Dude, awesome. You know what I mean? I feel like you have to literally brainwash yourself into loving yourself, because so much of us, that's not our default program network. You know, that's not what we learned from our parents, telling us that we need to be better, that we're pieces of shit if we don't get straight A's, we don't do this, or whatever. So, you know, you gotta heal yourself, and then in turn you heal your kids too. Epigenetics. But anyway, I love this, as you guys can tell. If I love something, I go on for a long time about it. But anyway, if you guys are still here, it means I love you. It means you love me too. Definitely smash the like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you're resonating with the content. Also, what are your top 3 favorite Annie Lennox songs today? Just today, and maybe not of all time. But today, what are your top 3 songs? Let me know in the YouTube comment section down below. And that's pretty much it. If you guys want to support the channel at the same time, request songs and artists, songs and albums for us to react to, join everyone in the Patreon family. Also, what artists do you guys want to see back on the channel next week? Let me know join the Patreon, let me know. And that's pretty much it. So if you want to check out my podcast and get your hands on official merchandise and hang out with all of us, links to all of those things are down below. And that's it. So without further ado, I'll see all of you guys again tomorrow. I love you.